Yeah, I think Tembele was a bit visually compelling for me. Like, it was fun to watch it. Uh, it was fun for the shots. It looks beautiful, I would say. The story of Tembele to me is simply a story of a man who wakes up, going for his daily life, chores or something, and then he has a pregnant woman. Woman gives birth, the baby dies, and then he goes on to a journey to go bury the child. The story doesn't have so much going on, really. Like, I don't have moments that will make me remember the story that much, apart from a journey of the man moving from home to the village to bury the baby. So I love to see the shots, but there was nothing going on to me that I would really cling on to. I'm like, okay, I'm rooting for this actor, I'm rooting for this actor. There were no specific goals the characters had, in my perspective, and there were no clear, obstacles that were in between them and the goals that they wanted to achieve. And it was hard for us to really click where we're heading. We're just following on to the story, so we had no, expectations that were coming up. It was more like we're blindly walking into the story and getting to explore what the director has to tell us. But I love the way the shots were done. I love the detail. I love the authenticity that the director tried to put into the story in terms of language, the characters, the costume, and all the other artistic parts of the story. It was really, really good to look at. Just that there was nothing moving in terms of screenplay. Yeah.
Basically, you can say like there's nothing you can, like the story can be memories that you can remember from the story.
There are moments that are sad. It's a depressing story. It's a schizophrenic-based story, but it doesn't have elements that will help you understand it, help you connect with it. You could just watch. The characters are not driving. They are not fighting. They are not strong. So characters are weak, but the visuals were beautiful. That's what I can say. Like, it looks good, but it doesn't entertain you.
Okay, there is that actor who I actually thought worked on those cars that move. The one, what, Segirenya. Like, geez, he was very natural. And funny thing is, he's one of those actors I've not seen before. So I found him very, very amazing. Of course, Patrick was amazing, but for Patrick, you can understand he has been through the drills, he has done that, and you expect him to be amazing. He's that professional. And then, of course, she was amazing. I know, okay, I don't know if I'm even jumping the queue, because I know somewhere, there is somewhere where you had to ask me, I had you ask someone, like, which nominations do you think they did not get that they would have gotten? I actually think she would have gotten the Best Actress nomination, because I felt like she was very amazing. Yeah, for me, those three were really amazing. And then, of course, the guy, the guy of the border, who's border, yeah, Sinan. Geez, he's quite a natural. He's quite a natural. Like, you just throw him a Uganda line and he will nail it.
We have the right of the story on the panel. What inspired you to tell the story? What did you really want to tell to the audience?
First of all, the story is about real events. This thing actually happened to a person that I know, my little brother. He lost his little child on the very day he was born. And it affected the whole family. All of us were like a bit traumatized because he's very young, and he had his first child at a very young age. So it kind of traumatized the whole family. So when I came back from the burial and all, my husband told me, this thing is going to traumatize all of you. You need to see therapists. You need to reach out and talk about what happened so that you don't keep it. So my way of getting therapy was writing the story, and I think it was therapy. It worked for me. It healed me. In fact, when I brought him today to watch the film, and he just ran out of the cinema and told me, "I'm sorry, I can't watch this anymore," I felt like I did justice to his story. I felt like maybe I actually told what he went through. So, yeah, that's what inspired it, real events.
The director, this question goes to you. Tell us about the making of the film, special scenarios. You had really good shots there. They're called shots? within the experts, and they're really good. So tell us those special moments.
Special moments. The whole experience in Tembele, right from pre-production, was a special moment for me. I will not speak and say this was beautiful, this was amazing. For me, it's a collage of amazing things. So that's what I'll tell you.
Okay. Congratulations, you have over 11 nominations. I'll ask questions some.
Yeah.
What are some of the nominations that they missed out that they deserved?
They deserved, I think they ticked almost all the boxes. Yeah. Okay, I'll first talk about the ones I believe they really did well. Cinematography was amazing, like amazing. I think I haven't seen a better cinematographed film yet at the screenings. This was brilliant. I liked the editing, was also nice. The sound and the scoring, the music was brilliant. The costume design, the production design, amazing. Now I'll come to the acting now, I guess. Yeah. When I look at the acting was good because all the actors are natural. You really see them. Nothing is fake or anything. I don't know how many films are really competing, but if it's nominating actors for acting, they performed. They did well. The supporting actor was amazing. The man, the Sergei guy, was really amazing. You could not forget him. Yes, it was his first time. The Nkalukanyi Patrick, I can't even have any less expectations about him. He did really well. I also felt that the actress deserved the nomination. Looking at the people who are nominated in the category of supporting, yes, she deserved to be there too, because she was really brilliant. Yes. When it comes to let me say competing for nominations of performance and all, I felt the actors needed more to prove more of their abilities because they are really good. Like the writer should have tested them a little bit more with so many obstacles and situations and all. But even with the little they had, they did amazing. Like no actor failed. Yes, my favorite actors who never get nominations were the old men that were in the story. They were so original and so natural. I actually like the director for picking such characters in all these films, old men who you can't expect to be cast for a role and they actually deliver without failing. It's really impressive. I believe every nomination they have, they deserved it. Based on the people who are competing with them at the UFF, they deserved it. They missed screenplay. I don't think they deserved screenplay because the story was lacking a lot. The story is there, the idea is there, but the screenplay was not really that driving to anybody. So every nomination they got, they deserved it. Yeah, and I don't know how. Yeah.
Actually, just to say something about the screenplay.
Yeah.
I think one, it's a powerful story.
Yeah.
It's a very powerful idea. But when it comes to the way it was told, at times you feel like you have it.
And then.
You don't have it. And then you're like, okay, what exactly is going on?
Yeah.
So the one was dynamic. So at times you feel like, I think I know what the story is about.
Yeah.
And then there is that time where you're like, I have to go through my and I
Yeah. No, like I could get what it's about as it progresses, but the way it was progressing, it was missing some elements that could have happened. Like to give you a clear understanding of what is the goal of the characters. Like each character had no specific goal that we can root for. That's what makes me even feel like, okay, they are worth a nomination, but maybe not award. You understand? Because there was nothing they were dealing with, apart from the life that was happening around them. Yes, I would also talk about the director nomination. I believe it's also deserving because of how the director works with all the departments. You know, like we have so many films at the festival, whereby the director focuses on performance only and leaves all the other things, but I like Moriss for the fact that he deals with all these departments together and he tells a story. Like, I have seen like two, like besides him, there is only one other director who does that. You get. So it's amazing that he does that because it's what we need for industry to grow. And I can't wait to see the next story they will tell because I believe they are going now to come back with a better screenplay. And yeah, God knows what will happen. Yeah.
Andrew, could you talk about the language? Because at time we reached a point and we were like, what are they? Like Luganda, yes, I understand some a bit of, I'm like, okay, now it's Swahili.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was something I found very disturbing. Okay. I remember asking someone why Americans usually come to a country like Uganda and then they make a that same character switches the language and what exactly is going on.
Yeah.
And I had a problem with that when I was watching it. Because I think the very first word Patrick's character says was a language from the West.
Yeah.
And then after that, when he's touching her stomach, it's like Olimola or something, and I'm like, hey. And then they go to the village and they speak Swahili.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I like the fact that this actually brings up a debate, because when you look at Kampala families, myself, I'm married to a Mchiga man and I'm a Munyankole woman, but we do not speak Runyankole or Ruchiga at home. When we are together, we're speaking English or Luganda, because we are in Kampala and he's grown up here in Uganda. My Luganda is vague, but I will still speak Luganda. You get it? When my mother finds me speaking Luganda, she's like, wait a minute. And you see, sometimes when we go back home, we end up even speaking Luganda in our Nyankole homes, and then it's kind of awkward because we are Nyankole, but we're speaking Luganda. You get? So let me try to put a light on Tembele. Tembele is married to a Nyankole woman. Yeah, by all means, you will find that you're picking up on a few words of what your other partner is speaking. Like you're picking up on a few words. Either the woman is picking up on something or the man is picking up on something. But when you realize in the film they say he's been in Uganda for 18 years, yeah? So meaning he picked up on Luganda. Not that he's a Muganda, he's a Mswahili, but he picked up on Luganda, you get? And this happens a lot. It has happened to me, so I like to put things out there. That's how they are. Even in Kampala homes, there's so many Baganda, Munyankole, Baganda, Muchiga, and very little Baganda, Maganda. You get, it has happened. We are intermarried, and we are not going to forget about the fact that we are intermarried and we don't have one uniting language, you get. We might have like that one uniting language that we speak all the time, but at the end of the day, the fact is that the intermarriages in Uganda, very many of them.
Basically, to elucidate on what she's saying, you asked about the different languages, right? It's the same. My dad is a Mchiga, my mom's a Muganda, but you'll find that his eldest son speaks broken Ruchiga, but I speak perfect Luganda, because the woman takes over if you're a Muganda. Baganda women always take over in homes because they're the ones who hang with the kids right from the time in their cradle. So you find yourself, the mother is also picking on the husband's language just to claim ownership. Just the way you had Tembele trying to say, Najenda, then also there's a part where he spoke some other line. You get the point. Then Solidad said that there's a part where Tembele's dad, presumably his dad, who speaks Swahili. The reality is that man is not exactly his dad. That's a Kalenjin man. You know Kalenjins. You get the point. But I saw no better way than pushing in Swahili exactly to diversify. And you know what these other guys are doing to us in Kenya? Bongo. That's why we're suffering. Because we don't have one language. You get the point. So in a way to want to, spread my wings and go beyond for a Kenyan to want to see this film, or a Congolese who speaks Swahili, or a guy from TZ, or Arabs. You notice Arabs here speak Swahili? So, I mean, they would love to, listen and say, the guy spoke Swahili. You get the point. So basically, that's one of the reasons why we chose to throw around those languages. Yes.
When I was watching, I understood why you were doing it. The only problem is how do you continue with the story?
Yeah. It wasn't explained in the story why it's like that. Okay.
You always give us, I believe now, this is your second year to bring a good feature film on board, right? So what are your expectations for the UFF next week, Friday?
Expectations? I'm just going to be there, slay, have a good time, and thumbs up to
whatever happens.
May the best man win.
Exactly. Yeah.
What are your plans after UFF?
I'll keep doing my stuff, hustling, going back on the street, doing what I do best.
What are the plans for the film?
Tembele. I intend to push it, probably have a premiere, because this was only a screening. So I expected guys to Actually, Samuel's doing a good job pushing it. That's what I wanted to hear. So next time, when I'm pushing something out, I remember his comment.
Yeah.
Next time I'll listen. I remember his comment because I actually remember.
Yeah.
So those are my plans to push out better stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Any more comments from Andrew and Sam as we wind up?
Maybe I would just like to say one little thing about cinematography, which I found very beautiful, but also problematic at times.
yeah.
My problem was at times it became repetitive.
Yes, yeah.
I think it usually happens with most Ugandan films when it comes to shots they've taken drones. And
Yeah.
because drones are expensive to hire.
So you have to use all the
Sometimes
shots.
someone
Yeah.
takes all those shots and they're like, how are we paying for that shot?
Yeah.
Excellent.
yeah.
So I felt like some shots kept coming back at the
Yeah.
moment. But why is it coming back?
Yeah.
Like you already saw that it shouldn't be back at the moment.
Yeah.
And then of course, I know you love views a lot. At least I can establish that.
Yeah.
Because they kept coming back. Like there's a way the camera kept commencing.
Yeah.
When it goes back to the village to bury the child. But still with the many beautiful shots, I feel like some of the shots did not carry the story.
I think the issue was everything looked beautiful, but since there wasn't a clear story, it was hard for these departments to also work with the story. You understand? So that's why like we have so many beautiful detail shots that move us to nowhere. You understand? Like they look good, but you're like, okay, nice. Where are we heading? So they were not like telling the story, but showing us that this is beautiful. Look at it. This is nice looking. Look at it. You get. Trying to remind us. Yes, I like the way you capture the broad environment, like the landscapes. You're amazing at that. It's very, very nice. Like you don't stay indoors like most of us. You go out there and you go big. That's amazing. Like it's beautiful. I so believe that Tembele, wherever it might go, it might make more impressions because of how you capture the world of the story. Yes.
Can I just continue? Personally, my background, I like to break out. You get the point. I don't like closed congestion. I expire mentally.
Yeah.
So one of the reasons why I usually go back home, I'll tell you, this comes from a personal angle. So even if you worked with me, you'd find me infecting you that influenza. You get the point. So being a photographer, I've done photography all my life. You get the point. My dad was a photographer, so I'm all about images mostly. That's why you see your assessment is not exactly wrong. That I always go hard on whatever. So on the story, because I was dealing with mental health, my guy, you saw my Tembele guy, had issues. There is no better way that is therapeutic, like Soledad said, than taking a trip back home. Not just going and seeing hills, because where I was born, I come from Kabale. It's blessed with hills. But that wasn't Kabale, that was Kapchora. But it's almost the same. So it's like a pinch of fresh air to this guy's lungs, to his mentality. Even if those didn't heal his mind, he had to still go and see a counselor. But for me, I think that's a whiff of fresh air for this gentleman who's been hit left, right, and
Yeah, so just one tip, those explanations you're giving us now, if those were visually told in the story, so it's going to be brilliant. Like why you took him there, why he's doing this. The whys are the ones that we need to be put in the story.
Maybe I will ask you one question that I believe most people that were in the cinema have. What's the timeline of the film? At what time is it happening? Are we watching a flashback or?
I'll explain. Then I'll give her to explain as well. I will not tell you exactly the timeline. I will tell you that the film borrows the back and forth approach. You understand? So that's why my images keep going back and forth. I like to challenge my audience. I don't want to spoon feed my audience. I am such a guy. You get the point. I want them to think through. Actually, I'm enjoying this experience that you're asking me. about my film and why, whether some things are done the way they were done. You get the point? As opposed to a time where you just be asking me about costumes and the color of the guy's teeth and something like so. Really, that question just empowers me to think that actually my intention, has hit 100. Yeah.
So most of the part of the film is a flashback. Because the film starts when this gentleman is in a therapy session. Because there are some people who didn't start the film, and at the end then they saw the therapist and they're wondering, where did this one come from? But when you see it, it starts with a therapy session and ends with a therapy session. This other part was just a flashback. He was just taking us through how he got a disorder, how he got a mental illness, and how he got out of it. Meaning he's still actually getting out of this disorder. He's not yet very well because the therapist is still asking him how the child and the wife is. Meaning that the therapist is wondering, are you okay? Are you now back on track? Do you now know what happened to go back to work? You get? Yeah, so the whole movie, most of the biggest part is a flashback.
So it's a flashback, but there's a flashback in that flashback.
Yeah. And dreams in that flashback. Yes.
Discuss.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to be on the panel. We wish you good luck, and we're here to promote your content, your films to the world. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming.
No, I've not watched all the other films. Yeah, I've not.
Finally, what would be your rating out of 10?
Rating out of 10, I would go for a 4. 1 because I'm a story person more than anything.
Sam, what would be your rating out of 10?
Yeah, the movie was fine because of the story. The story was there. I'm gonna go out of 8. Everything else was.
Please take the feedback in good faith. That's so true. Thank you guys for coming and turning up and for being honest. We really appreciate it.